everybody, and welcome to another Dawn Dimension car review. Today I will be reviewing this 2009 BMW 335i Coupe. We're dealing with about 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. And just to start off with the interior here, it's high quality as you would expect with a BMW. With the steering wheel, it's a little smaller than normal, but it's really sporty. It's got exceptional 9 3 grips. It's got firm plastic paddle shifters. These operate a little bit differently than standard ones. Shift into manual mode here. Oh, that's DS. What the heck is that? It's upshift. You just pull them towards you. And then to downshift, you just push them away from you. It's a little more intuitive than other systems. And moving back to the rest of the interior, you got the radio and the air conditioning controls. It's a pretty intuitive screen. High quality as you'd expect from BMW. I'm going to shift back into automatic here. Overall, the materials are pretty good in here. You got hard, firm plastics. You got a little bit of wood trim here. Nice black accent colors with darker brown wood. Then you got tan leather on the side doors. And the air conditioning climate control system is pretty easy to use. Simple functions, firm resistance on these knobs here. And also you have your radio presets as actual buttons on the bottom. And the shifter is pretty firm. It's got the nice metal looking trim here. And to shift into manual, you just slide it over. And it's firm, so you're not going to actually bump it and change into reverse. You got a little coin holder there with a cigarette lighter power. And then moving on to the center console, it serves as a pretty firm, a little firmer than average armrest, but still comfortable. Your elbow rests right on it when you're driving. Same with the door side armrests. And with the visibility of this 335i, it's actually really good. On the front, the hood drops down so it's not in your way. Good front visibility. The A pillars don't really get in the way much. And neither do the B pillars. They're a little further back, so you have good blind spot visibility. So there's not really much of a blind spot. The C pillars aren't in the way either. And the rear visibility is pretty good. The back windshield is good. Same with the rear view mirror. Side mirrors are a little smaller than normal, but that is offset by the larger rear windshield. And dealing with the back seat space, it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I'm 6 feet and I can fit back there with the seat and about halfway back, front seat. So it's pretty doable, maybe for a pinch, but not like a long weekend road trip. Who's gonna get at the gauges? Moving on to the gauges here, they're pretty nice. They got a bold white font there. Then you got the kilometers per hour as an option. And you have a digital readout there of what gear you're in. So if you're in manual mode, it tells you which gear you're in, 1 through 6. And yeah, just overall, they're pretty nice looking and easy to read. As someone driving this car, we took it on some nice mountain roads back there. And it handles really good. Steering feedback is pretty tight. The throttle response is a little bit slower than I expected. You're dealing with a little bit of turbo lag, but when the power does come on, it really does. It's quite powerful. This is the inline 6 turbocharged. Like I said before, it's got 300 horsepower. And then in terms of the braking is pretty good. You have to push a little bit of dead travel, but once you do get on the brakes, they're pretty confidence-inspiring. I know the owner just had them replaced with ceramic. And the steering feedback is pretty good, like I said. When you're going around the corners, as you can see in the video, it's pretty tight, and you don't ever feel like you're going to have any body roll, which there really isn't any. So it's firmly planted, confident car on the corners. And once you get going, then it's pretty fast. And there's not much, there's a little bit of dead travel on the gas pedal as well. Ooh, horses.
Cowgirls riding around.
Yeah, so overall, this is a pretty sporty car. I guess I'll go over the daily driver segments of this car. So it's pretty quiet when you're not giving gas. It's pretty quiet in this interior. Good quality sound deadening materials. So it's still a luxury car, but it's a good compromise as well, since you're dealing with 300 horsepower, 300 foot-pounds of torque. It's performance and also comfort at the same time. But this is easier. You can focus on the steering more. Manual thought used to be too much. Don't tell anybody about this road. Yeah, it's hard to beat this.
It's pretty cool.
I bet this has been like documented on some forum as like a good road. Someone knows about it.
I don't see how much faster you could really go into these turns.
Man, unless you're really pushing your limits.
You're just sliding out.
Yeah. Going the safe limit where it's still pulling.
That's a sweet looking road right there.
That's awesome. I need to move down here and just drive this every day. Probably get old.
Probably would. Unless you just kept pushing yourself harder and harder.
Yeah.
And then you roll yourself.
Then you quit. It's good practice though. You don't even need to go on a course. I feel like you'd be the best at this, Ho Boost. Your snowmobiling skills show your true nature.
I think you're beating my time right now.